All right, what's up, class? This is Mr. Klein here, talking to you about our flipped classroom assignment. Over the next couple of days, we'll be doing some soccer skills, but what I really want you to do is learn about the exact motions and skills behind each of the things that we do, so you can then apply it in class. So, like I said, we're starting our new soccer unit. Over the next couple of days, we'll be talking more about attacking, so more of offense, and then getting into defending the next day. So attacking specifically, we're breaking it down into three specific skills. So passing with a lot of teamwork, players pass the ball across the field in an attempt to score a goal. So you need to use your team and your teammates and communication to make sure that you are successful in passing. Then we'll be talking more about dribbling. So dribbling allows the player with the soccer ball to move up the field and make a decision to either pass or shoot. Building on the skill will help you learn a little bit better about ball control and speeding up and slowing down. And finally, shooting. So shooting is an attempt to score by striking the ball hard towards the opponent goal. Most often, you will have an open shot at goal, and you will take it. The harder you kick, the more accurate you are, the more likely you are to score. So let's get into passing. Some of the details about passing are very specific. Make sure that you use the inside of your foot. By doing this, you get the most accuracy. Next, your kicking foot should be at a right angle to the ball. This also provides accuracy and the best sort of coverage of the ball when striking it. Make sure that your body, and specifically your belly button, is facing towards the target. That makes it a little bit easier to pass the ball and, as always, is more accurate. Keep your body over the ball. Okay, that helps with balance. Making sure that your eyes are on the ball helps maintain the best ability for you to strike the ball at the right spot, right at the middle of the soccer ball. Extend your arms to keep out for balance. And finally, follow through with your kicking foot for accuracy. So I've got a video here that I'd like you to watch multiple times for the best way for you to learn how to pass. So here we go. I'm all set and ready to go. Here, as I approach the ball, my body's over the ball. My foot is at a right angle, and I pass successfully. I'll play it one more time for you all to see. There you go. Following through, stepping through, and that way I could see my opponent while I'm looking up, and then move to where I need to be to get open to receive a pass later on. Next, we talk about dribbling. So dribbling, make sure that you're using the tip of your toes. That way you can change direction at any given moment, especially when a defender is coming at you. Next, make sure you stay in control. So if you don't feel comfortable speeding up, you could always slow down and speed up gradually as you become more comfortable with that. Try to use both feet. If the ball is on your left foot, you could always turn left, and if the ball is on your right foot, you're able to turn right. So keeping it back and forth that enables you to change direction at any moment. Keep your eyes up so you can see what's going on in front of you. That's important. And use your arms for balance as well. So here's another dribbling demonstration of me. Keep my eyes up, looking down every once in a while, and my son comes into view, making a cameo performance here. So I'll play it one more time. Body's over the ball, shifting back and forth. I could turn at any moment, keeping my eyes up and dribbling down the field. Finally, shooting. So make sure that you observe your surroundings to make sure that you have a clear shot. Place your non-kicking foot alongside the ball. That's important for balance. Keep your head down and eyes on the ball. If you feel comfortable, you can look up. But most often, you want to just make sure that you're striking the ball in the right area. Keep your body over the ball for balance and make contact in the middle or top half of the ball. Okay, here's another demonstration of me following through, slow motion, stepping right next to the ball, following through, my hips are open, and kick, and you could see with my foot how it follows through right towards the goal. Leaning forwards, keeping my arms out for balance, and following through. So now it's your turn. Find a ball in your house and attempt the 3 basic skills before class tomorrow. Give yourself enough room. Maybe see if there's any your parents or family members or friends around that you can attempt these skills. And of course, try your best, and have fun. So for tomorrow, once you kind of get familiar with this, after attendance, we'll do a quick Plickers assessment based on what I just discussed today. Then we'll go through a passing activity where you'll just pass back and forth with a partner. Then we'll do some zigzag dribbling, and then a penalty kick shootout activity right at the end. So be prepared for that, and I'll see you all tomorrow. One more thing that I forgot to mention. In preparation for tomorrow, I'd like for all you to access this Edpuzzle here. Just click on the link and you'll be brought to a video and a couple questions that will link to your Google Classroom account that I will assess on your understanding of the game of soccer. See you tomorrow. Okay, welcome back. Welcome to day 2 of our soccer skills. Yesterday you guys did an amazing job, or rather today you did an amazing job in preparation for tomorrow's defending activities. So, well, here we go, defending. So I'd like for all of you to watch this video that will demonstrate a little bit more about how to defend. Oops.
Today's video is all about defending. There's a few things I want to talk about. The first is closing or denying space. Whenever you are defending an opponent, I want you to think about making their life extremely difficult. Be someone they do not want to play against. How you do this? You do not give them a second to breathe. You do not give them time to get their head up and make easy plays. So when you're closing space, think about getting there as quickly as possible. However, once you get close to your opponent, you need to become more cautious. So as you can see, I'm sprinting towards my opponent, closing that space quickly. However, once I get close to him, this is when I get a little more cautious. I bend my knees, I get closer to the ground, and just playing lower to the ground, defending lower to the ground with bent knees, light on your toes, it's going to allow you to move quicker side to side. It's also going to give you more balance and strength when you're going into your tackles. The next thing I want to talk about is jockeying. This is more of a one-on-one defending when he's coming at you, trying to beat you. So same principles apply. You want to close that space down quickly. However, here you need to be much more cautious. As opposed to when your opponent is staying on the spot, he's not going anywhere, or he has his back turned. In those situations, you can get much closer. Here, you still want to get close. You don't want to give him too much space where he can get his head up and make a pass or take a shot, but you need to be more cautious. So get there. But now you're getting low to the ground and you're almost thinking about just staying in front of him. You don't necessarily have to make the tackle, but you need to stay in front of him. Just move your feet quickly. Try to be light on your toes. Never be flat-footed or square. You kind of want to approach him on an angle, so either force him to the left or force him to the right. But just get light on your toes and force him to have a heavy touch. Force him to make a mistake. And at the right time, you want to go in and stick your tackles hard. The next thing is anticipating. So rather than always reacting, if you know he's going to have a heavy touch, or you can see that it's an opportunity where he's going to have a heavy touch, get in there right away. This is a great opportunity. Rather than jockeying, get in there right away and make a strong tackle. The next thing I want to talk about is turning or being light on your toes. So instead of always lunging for the tackle, which sometimes may be successful, you may get yourself into trouble by always lunging and trying just to stick your foot out and make a tackle. Instead, think about being light on your toes and always being ready to sprint in the opposite direction. So this is a great example here, and this is something that has helped me a lot with my defending. Rather than always lunging for the tackle, try to stay light on your toes, turn quickly, sprint with your opponent, and get your body in front of the ball. This is a great skill to have, and this is something I've learned from watching a lot of professional defenders. So always think about being light on your toes, quick to turn, sprint, and get your body in front of your opponent. Here are a few mistakes that are pretty common. The first thing is diving in especially when your opponent is turned. I don't need to necessarily win the ball at this point. I just need to force him to go backwards. But if I'm lunging for the ball and committing myself too much on one side, it's going to be very easy for him to turn. So just think about forcing him backwards and maybe winning the ball from behind, staying goal side of your man. The next mistake is approaching but not getting low to the ground. It's very difficult for me to stay with my opponent if I'm flat-footed and I'm defending high. Remember, defend low. It's going to make you a much better defender, allow you to move quicker side to side. So this is another common mistake, just running in and not really putting effort or focus into your defending. The next thing is being flat-footed or too square. So as you can see there, I got nutmegged. And again here, I can't move quickly if I'm square. So remember, you want to approach him on an angle. Rather than facing him straight on, think about positioning your body to force him to go left or force him to go right. Trying to almost trap him in a certain direction. So that's a very common mistake. The other one we kind of talked about is lunging. And rather than lunging, you want to be light on your toes and just turn and be ready to sprint at all times and just focus on getting your body in front of the defender rather than always just sticking your foot out. So to recap, here are some of the major points. The first one is closing, denying space. Do not give your opponent time to breathe. Close that space quickly. Once you get close to your opponent, that's when you need to become more cautious, get low to the ground. The next thing we talked about was jockeying in a one-on-one position. Remember, you just want to stay in front of him, be light on your toes, and wait for the right opportunity to stick a strong tackle. After jockeying, we talked about anticipating. So if you know he's going to have a bad touch, he's had some in the past, or you can see that it's a heavy touch, get in there. Do not hesitate. Put in a strong tackle. Finally, rather than always lunging, you want to think about turning and just being ready to sprint, staying on your toes rather than always lunging and sticking your foot out. I hope you found this defending tutorial.
All right, what a great video. I love watching that. There's a lot of really good points. One thing just to add really quick is when he talks about tackling, that's not necessarily tackling that person to the ground. What they really mean is just to gain possession of the ball. All right, so some defending tips. Make sure that you move quickly to the player with the ball. Make sure that you defend at an angle. This way you're able to shift left and right and move backwards at any given moment. Keep your arms out, of course, for balance, but do not touch the ball. Communicate with your team members in case maybe they have a better opportunity to take cover. And that's it. So tomorrow's plan. After attendance, we'll have another Plickers assessment. We'll play a quick game of color tag. That'll kind of increase your heart rate and have fun with kind of zigzagging and moving away from your from other players. Then we're going to do a one-on-one quick activity. Then we'll get into groups of 3 and play a 3-on-3 keep away activity. And then finally, we're going to play our fun 4-goal soccer game that I'll explain and demonstrate later on. So after that, coming up, once we've built those attacking and defending skills, we'll have a World Cup tournament as I will divide you up into countries around the world and do a World Cup style bracket challenge. It'll be a really fun time for bragging rights, and I even have a trophy for all of you at the end. So I have all of the rules that I've created here, so just make sure that you read through it and you are prepared. And at the end, there will be just a quick an assessment just on everything that we've learned, and I'll provide the Google form for you, and we'll post that to Google Classroom. So I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow, and have a great rest of your evening.